Okay, arriving today, not already delivered.
Almost as scandalous as Peach's ankles in Smash Brothers, which makes it an adult game.
I remember when Sakurai talked about it in an interview that the Japanese rating board saw the ankles and was like, hell no, B-, because they go by an A, B, C rating or whatever, I think. Animal Crossing's trending over everything.
People want to see it on Tuesday. They
right,
probably will.
They made I think they will still too, just quickly mention. They threw out a press statement and it doesn't mention Animal Crossing. Because it's talking about what's going to be at the show floor. So it's only talking about things on the show floor.
Right, but they already announced that there would be a new Animal Crossing, right?
Yeah. Remember the CG trailer and everything?
Yeah. So people are just like, they want to see something. They don't care if it's playable or not yet. They just want to see what it looks.
Yeah.
And
but
it's
anyways,
been enough time where they probably have some.
Yeah, at least they should. I don't imagine an Animal Crossing Animal Crossing games getting rebooted.
Yeah.
But anyways, moving on to, for now, Stadia. It's hard to talk about the Destiny stream upcoming because there's been so many leaks. I don't think there's predictions to make anymore.
Well,
we wanted to knock it out quickly, but
it's I'm not gonna say anything because it's leaked.
Exactly. If there were anything else that wasn't said that I would want,
I'm gonna put it in spoiler talk for us in case you're interested, but
even like. Let's say, hypothetically, because this is how Destiny works, is they have expansions. So if there were an expansion, I would want it to come with the past expansions. At least an affordable option for that. Because them breaking off of Activision and people may be jumping in again after this news. I would hope that there is a decently priced way to pay into all the new content since launch. And then, what's on my phone? Just that notification, yeah. It's hard to think if there was any other...
Just check as well, where's the Stadia stream being hosted?
That is on, let me give you the YouTube link. Oh shit, I spoiled it for the stream.
Oh no.
I got it. There we go.
Yeah.
And we'll turn off the latency thing for this.
Did I tag everyone for the restream this morning or no?
For what?
For Stadia. I just put it in live stream feed, but I didn't tag anyone.
That's fine. We don't need to add everyone for everything.
Okay.
Besides, the thing is that many people aren't going to be...
Stuff.
Yeah, the thing is, people aren't going to be awake at this time either.
Yeah.
So it's,
unless it was Nintendo.
Unless it was actual E3, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to let Destiny happen and see what happens. But in the meantime, we have Stadia coming up in 15 minutes, which is Google's streaming service for video games. And we know we're going to
act surprised.
Let me see if there. I probably, because I use Gmail, got a press statement about it. I did not. I just got. I just got that.
Surprised.
I got that Cryware is added support to Stadia, and Cryware is a audio engine for that video. A lot of video games use, which I'm not like. It's a streaming service. I'm not sure why, but that's cool. until I find that Darksiders Genesis was announced, and that is also coming to Stadia. Rest assured, it's still going to be on Steam, so it will still be available otherwise. You know, Stadia so far has not, like, poaching exclusives. So, given recent events, I look lightly on Stadia because of that.
At the same time, because they haven't poached exclusives, no one's taking them seriously.
That's why they need to do what Apple's doing and just pay
first party.
Pay for them to develop them, and also have them be like real games.
Yeah, not like mobile shit or a generic. Ooh, here's a platformer or something, you know?
Yeah.
Has to be something that people are like, oh, that's neat. Like, if you, for example, they could totally pick up like a franchise that's already known that no current publisher has the license to, or it's a license that is just sold to multiple publishers.
Yeah.
Like if they were to do, what's big now? I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a broad game.
Brink.
That'd be the Nintendo way, is to pick up something dead and revitalize it.
If they were to do like a different Marvel game, I guess maybe. Marvel's everywhere. You could totally do something like that.
Better not be Marvel vs. Capcom. That's a train wreck waiting to happen. I still need answers.
The last thing you want to do is try selling your streaming service with a fighting game.
Yeah. It's the last thing.
For
like
a
we still
multitude
need
of reasons.
We still need this real explanation on low latency, because it was not at the event. We didn't talk about what happened at the event after our last Stadia stream. No, we never streamed it. We didn't. So when Google Stadia was first announced, they had an event where there was a whole bunch of press playing things, and they were trying to brag on stage about low latency. And then people testing the actual latency on the builds they had, it wasn't there. The latency was there, the low latency was not there. Still has latency.
And that's the biggest thing. Like, even with single player games, if it's not responsive enough, it's not gonna feel good. It's going to get annoying, especially when it's easily available to just pick up a console and play a game now.
Mm-hmm. So
like,
they've
you're
said,
gonna spend a little more, but that's the thing. You own the game at least too.
We know their statement in a tweet was, tune in for exciting announcements, games, and more. And I'm pretty sure they also said we were going to find out launch details and price. That's what we're gonna find out. So games, launch details, and price. That's what we're getting today. And Darksiders Genesis is one of those games.
I'm confused if that one was a leak or not, because it was just thrown up everywhere.
Well, the trailer
Probably
is
not yet rated.
No, oh, sorry, I played the trailer. Remember THQ's doing their announcements every day? This was the one for today.
And no, that's not till later. That's why I was like, this come out early, because it also showed for Stadia that it's on. So I feel like it was an accidental leak that people are just like...
Oh, well, it's hard to say when IGN's already uploaded it.
Right, that's what I mean.
Product
It's like,
not yet
oh, an
rated.
official source may have just put it out early.
Yeah, whoops.
Because THQ, they have their tweets. They haven't tweeted much since teasing that they had 3 games. Today's June 6th, right?
Yes.
Why
does it
Game
have
2 wasn't
dislikes?
supposed to be announced until 2 p.m. Eastern. So 2 hours from now.
Why does it have dislikes?
Darksiders Genesis?
Yeah. It's got a little bit of a significant number of dislikes on the trailer.
Is it? I watched it. I wasn't looking at likes and dislikes though, I guess.
Maybe it's because of how it plays.
History? Maybe people wanted more actual Darksiders?
That might be it.
But I don't think Darksiders 3 was even received well. Are you
I don't
looking at the
think
IGN one?
Yeah. That's
I
a
only see
significant...
466.
Yeah, that's a lot in a ratio. Well, you barely see that, like, tiny dislike bar. You rarely see that.
I don't know. That seems pretty, maybe a little above average, but nothing that's, like, worrying. I wouldn't say, at least. That's what, 10%? It's nothing.
Yeah.
You made me think like it was reaching like a halfway point or like a fourth or something. I was like, oh.
That's still like... No, the average is like 1% of dislikes. So at 10%, it feels like one thing has people upset, but the comments seem pretty positive, even if it's a Diablo spinoff.
That's why I was looking at it as well. It's like, I wouldn't worry about that.
Huh, alright, well. Anyways, so this was an unplanned conference. This showed up at the last second. Here's my stream schedule. I can't fit Stadia into there. So it's just not there. Same with Destiny. So we'll just stream
that was really last minute if we end up doing that.
Yeah. And I was only gonna stream it because of the leaked information makes it sound like a promising thing to tune into.
Yeah.
So we are gonna check that out.
At least see what's up. Because, I mean, odds are, for me personally, I'll still show no interest in it, but I'm curious as to exactly where they're going with it, at least right now.
Yeah, and I have nothing written down.
That's just big industry news, I guess. When you're... I'm not saying anything, because leaks.
Yeah.
I almost said something. I was like, we don't even know if it's 100%.
Yeah.
It's interesting news for the industry as a title that's from a massive company, or a massive name, at least.
Yeah.
And an IP that's been in a lot of, not necessarily turmoil, but a lot of changes within the last 6 months.
And I want it to BTFO Activision, so that'd be great.
Yeah, well, we already knew they're going that direction because they got the IP from them.
Yeah.
It's its own entity.
But they also, they got a lot of money from somewhere. That's the other thing, is Destiny, or Bungie got a fuck ton of money from somewhere, and I'm pretty sure it was not... I think it's
still China.
Yeah, China.
I don't know if that's how that works, though, without Activision. I don't know if it was given to Activision or Bungie.
It was given to Bungie, because Bungie paid for their exclusivity. Or it's not exclusivity, they paid for themselves out of Activision.
So maybe that funding was part of that then. I don't...
What was the plan, though? Is Stadia gonna be in China?
Google that real quick.
What if that was the angle? No, Google's banned in China. Google's banned in China.
No, Google's there. They help heavily censor the entire country.
Maybe.
I remember, because that was, unless something's changed within the last few years, I remember reading how they eventually were allowed. They just had to.
I probably read something from earlier then.
Because that was like something in high school I read.
Everyone, the massive struggle for every company to feasibly be in China, because it's such a massive state of revenue. But they have so much shit to get around.
Well, that's why you have these Hollywood movies that you just tack on a big Hollywood star, and then the rest is catered towards the Chinese market.
Yeah.
Like Skyscraper with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Very much a Chinese marketed movie.
Yeah. And it makes sense. There's a massive amount of money there.
Yup. Which worries me a bit, but it's a little late. I don't think much is going to change there anytime soon.
Yeah, and like all the game companies trying to get in as well. And so many hurdles for them to jump. It was recently, I think... I don't think it was saying kill or death was banned. I think just dying in general was banned.
Yep, because that PUBG Mobile... No, don't laugh. That's very real. PUBG Mobile, they made it so that they give like a thumbs up or something when you get rid of the rest of their health.
No, for a historical...
And they give you a box.
A historical context would be in Germany, Remember TF2 is changed in Germany. I'm pretty sure it was Germany that there's no gibs, no blood and gore. Everyone blows up into confetti and balloon dogs.
Yep.
So it's not the first thing of that concept. Of course, that still wouldn't fly in China.
As for Stadia, real quick, when it launches, it's only launching in US, Canada, and Europe. So countries within Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So it will not be in China at launch, at least.
So the there's also been Stadia leaks, so trying to jump around these, but it's still a pretty relevant conversation to expect. Z3 happening today. Stadia and Destiny are, which aren't E3 itself. I mean, E3 doesn't happen until like Tuesday. But we have a bunch of press conferences. Here's the schedule for you.
Cool.
The conversation of archiving video games is always relevant.
Mhm.
And well, I mean, I don't think we should be expecting. I'm gonna take the Discord overlay off of these things. We shouldn't be expecting a streaming service to be a. Oh, maybe we should We should have an expectation that it's not going to be a reliable place for archiving games. Things will. It's a service. Things are gonna disappear. Because it's a service, so much licensing has to go into it. So, things are gonna disappear from the store all the time.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that on Steam too, but that's mostly Activision being scummy as hell. Most of the time when you see major games pulled, it's Activision.
When I looked at the SpongeBob page, let me go back to this. When I looked at the SpongeBob page, there was 2 curators active on the page. I was like, well, what do the curators already have to say about it? And there's a curator page for games that might end up leaving Steam. And that has a list of every licensed game on Steam, because they all could have license expirations that just remove the games.
Yup.
And SpongeBob was, of course, one of them.
Yeah, that was one of the first worries. They bought the licenses 2 years ago or whatever, so I'm hoping they're gonna keep up to date.
Yeah, they have to.
I don't think THQ Nordic so far has had a history of just doing scummy shit. And the latest thing was the A-Champion that they
outside
quickly
of their PR
apologized
dude,
for,
yeah. The company itself.
That was just like.
That was just a bad choice.
Yeah, that was not thought through very, very much.
We got hyped about
But
Mordor, but it's literally War of the Roses. But Mordor is fun. I don't know what War of the Roses is, but people are allowed to be hyped about a fun game.
War of the Roses was basically Chivalry. I don't remember if it came out before or after Chivalry.
Which War of the Roses literally Chivalry. No, they're allowed to be fun. Doesn't matter if people are. Nobody's wrong for being hyped. Trying to load Steam, but it's just loading slow. It's not even Tuesday. I don't know what's going on.
These people got hyped over a game that's already out and they have in their hands. I'd be more concerned if people are hyped over a logo like Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah, people are hyped because they're playing the game.
Yeah, so it's like if people like it, people like it. From what I've seen, it does just look like Chivalry to me, but Cheat, Rave, Drew,
yeah,
Omni,
which has been streamed on this channel.
So there's something, yeah, it's been streamed on this channel as well. So it's like, hey, it's probably just a more populated Chivalry, and that's perfectly fine.
Look up gameplay. Well, I say look up the streams on this channel of our guys having fun playing it. ETA on the stream right now.
Any minute. Literally about to hit 12 p.m. Eastern.
Any minute now. I wish there was music. This stream is gonna be loud. They're late.
Oh, you're saying... Oh, I see what you're saying, Legion. I gotcha.
Oh, is it the same devs?
That's what it's sounding like. It sounds like they basically
Is the same devs?
pulled, like, one of those... What was it called? Like that zombie game back when World War Z was
hello,
popular.
Phil.
Well, how far ahead are you?
Hi, I'm Phil.
Oh,
Thanks
geez,
my
you're
God,
really
yeah, you're
ahead.
really far ahead. I'm
Oh, Jesus.
refreshing.
Connect. This series gives you a look at
You were like
Stadia news, events,
10, 15
new
seconds ahead of me.
titles, bonus
Like, was Phil in the
features,
call?
and
Fucking hell.
We'll be posting these Stadia Connect
Different
videos from
publisher,
time to
same
time to
game.
bring you
Alright,
the
yeah, I
latest
get what you
from
mean
Google
then, yeah.
Straight to all of you, the players. We've got a bunch of exciting news to share with you today, so let's get started.
240p, not
Time
gonna
to time
fly.
To bring you the
There we go.
latest from Google, straight to all of you, the players. We've got a bunch of
Yeah,
exciting news
it's a bit
to share
quiet.
with you
I'm
today,
figuring out,
so
thank you.
let's get started. 3 months ago, we gave you a first look at Stadia, a new generation available at launch. We'll share pricing details, including an exclusive launch offer, and you'll learn how to become one of the first Stadia players. Stadia has been years in the making across different Google teams. Google's mission has always been to make information more accessible for everyone.
Sorry.
With Stadia, our goal is to make gaming more accessible for everyone too. We designed
Oh, that's what you
Stadia to
left.
bring together game players
You know what he
and game
said that I
watchers
was-
from around the world into one global community of gamers. And Stadia makes it easy to play your favorite games on any screen in your life. At launch later this year, you'll be able to play Stadia games on your TV,
Oh, I just thought of something, and yes, this stream
desktop,
is relevant to the bingo card.
laptop, tablet,
Perfect.
and on Pixel
Because I just thought of
smartphones.
something that is probably going to be
Starting
here.
with Pixel 3, as well as the brand new Pixel 3a that we announced last month. Wherever you are, Stadia lets you play the latest games. No downloads, no patches, no installs. Just grab your controller and you're in. This level of access and availability
evil.
represents a huge shift in the gaming world.
Oh.
Instead of a console or a PC, you're using Google's data center as the platform. We handled the intense gameplay processing and graphics, so there's no console required to play your favorite games. That's what Stadia is all about, the games. Today, we're unveiling the very first wave of games coming to the platform at launch. We're working with hundreds of leading publishers and developers around the world to deliver their biggest and best titles to Stadia.
Maybe this
We've
will be
lined
the
up an
revival of
incredible
Marvel vs.
selection of
Capcom.
games spanning nearly every genre, including fighting, sports, role-playing games, first-person action, and racing titles. And we're just
God,
getting
imagine a
started.
racing game
this
with no
worldwide
low
exclusive
latency.
unveil comes straight
Oh,
from our friends
no.
at Larian Studios.
Maybe inappropriate for children.
Yeah, Lonsfer, I was going to say, at least Google's not buying exclusivity for their games. Like I said before the stream.
A little inappropriate
Yeah.
for children.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's War of the Roses with werewolves.
Yeah. Fuck, I don't want to look at this.
Cthulhu?
Bloodborne 2.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, Baldur's Gate 3.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I forgot about
So
that.
Larian is a company where we try to give everybody a lot of freedom because we want them to come with their IDs. Thanks, man. Forget it. My name is Sven Winke. I am the founder and director of Larian
I
Studios.
don't know why it's not going away, sorry.
This was founded
that's why.
in '97 in Ghent in Belgium.
All right, so
I've seen the entire evolution of the
this
games
isn't a
industry.
Stadia
We keep on
exclusive,
driving
right?
the
Please.
state of
No,
the
it's
art
not.
forward so fast.
Okay.
You don't have that in music. You don't have it in movies. But in video games, you have it, and Stadia is like the next leap. I mean, it is quite revolutionary. Larian Studios was founded to be able to create big epic RPGs in which the world reacts to what you're doing, in which you could play together with your friends. When we released Divinity Original Sin 1, I tried approaching Wizards of the
Yeah, it's
Coast,
from the Divinity
trying to tell them
devs,
that we should be
yeah.
the ones making Baldur's Gate 3. They didn't necessarily believe me back then, but then we started making Divinity Original Sin 2, and then at some point they just reached out to me and they said, well, you're the guy that wanted to make Baldur's Gate 3. Do you still want to make Baldur's Gate 3? And you say, yeah, of course I still want to make Baldur's Gate 3. And that got the conversation rolling, and before you knew it, we were constructing story. It was awesome. It was a geek dream come true. Baldur's Gate 3 is the biggest game that we've ever done. We had to triple the size of the studio to be able to do it. Production values are very, very, very high, but the game deserves it. I mean, people have been waiting on it for a very long time, so it deserves to be top-notch in every single aspect, and it's shaping up to be a beautiful game. But the
Yeah, I
coolest
heard
thing
many
about it
great
all
things
is that
about
by bringing it to
Divinity.
Stadia, pretty much everybody is going to be able to play it at the highest quality settings, because Stadia is democratic in that sense, if you want. It doesn't differentiate between what platform you're playing it on, because everything is server-based.
You say it's democratic?
We can't wait for you to play Baldur's Gate 3 on
Maybe.
Stadia. And whether you're playing
has
an
more
RPG
than one,
like Baldur's
meaning.
Gate 3 or any of the other titles and genres we'll share today, we know that players
demographic?
demand the
Okay.
most responsive
Oh,
experiences from their
demographic.
games.
I was like,
The
And we
word's
have
literally on
architected
screen, but I'm not
Stadia
reading
to
that.
give you the fastest possible response between what your fingers are doing and what your
I prefer the
eyes are
dub
seeing.
more than the sub.
So, what does that mean for the internet connection you're on right now? Let's quickly dig into the numbers. Our highest quality gaming experience is remarkable, with 4K HDR video at 60 frames per second and 5.1 surround sound.
Sorry, Pop.
We're able to deliver this experience to users with a connection
Oh, wait,
speed
I didn't see
of
that yet.
around 35 megabits per
Oh,
second.
fuck
And with
off.
Google handling the processing load,
I didn't
you
see
can
that
enjoy
yet.
smooth gameplay,
The bit rate,
even
I
if
didn't
you
see
don't
that.
have that kind of connection. So let's say you have a connection speed of just 10 megabits per second. You can still get at least 720p video at 60 frames per second.
Oh, there you
with
go,
stereo
Pop.
sound. We're really proud of the
There you go.
experience we're able to deliver.
Fuck
And it's
you.
all thanks to more than 20 years
No,
of
that's the
work at
problem,
Google,
though.
building and optimizing our networks and data centers to support services with billions of users like YouTube, Gmail, Android, Google Play, Maps, and of course, Google Search. The latency and
Well,
speed
Parsec is a
demands of
PvP
online
thing. That's
gaming
not like a
aren't
server.
far off from the demands we've
Parsec
been
doesn't go
meeting
to a
for
server.
years. We handle the back end so you can play the games you want, when you want, on whatever screen you prefer. Back in October of 2018, we put this idea to the test with Project Stream. We invited users to stream
Stadia is
Assassin's
gonna
Creed
be an app
Odyssey
too.
at up to 1080p
Legion.
and 60 frames per second. It was a phenomenal gaming experience on a wide
just a
range of
streaming
PCs
service.
and laptops that were simply running a Chrome browser. With Project Stream, we demonstrated that we can transmit
Yeah, I have the internet
live
speed, but I
instance
don't
from
want
the
it
data
higher than
center
that.
to your screen faster than your eye is transmitting those images to your brain. That's critical for fast-paced games on Stadia, like Mortal Kombat.
Hilarious.
It's truly
Oh,
a new
hell no.
paradigm for gaming. And since we announced Stadia a few months ago, we've gotten a lot of interest about this new way to play. In our
Changed rules
conversations
of
and
console
meetups with
wars,
game
what?
developers, they're excited about the possibilities of an ever-evolving play experience. And we can't wait to get Stadia in the hands of gamers later this year. So let's share some more details about the platform and what you'll need to get started at launch. You'll get the best experience playing with our new Stadia controller. It's designed specifically for streaming games.
Controller
and it
doesn't look too
includes a
bad,
capture
except
button for
as
your
the kind
game
of
footage
Xbox
and a
D-pad where
button
it's all
to
stuck
access
together.
the Google Assistant. Of course, you can also play Stadia games with any supported game controller or with a mouse
Yeah,
and
not like it
keyboard.
matters since you could just use the
The
others.
only other thing you need is a screen to play on. Want to play on the HD TV in your living room? Just plug in a Chromecast Ultra. If you'd rather play on your laptop, desktop, or tablet, open a Chrome browser window. Our vision is for Stadia to run on any screen that runs Chrome, or you can use the Stadia app on your Pixel 3. We'll be expanding to more screens down the line too, including more smartphones. When you're ready to play, the Stadia controller connects directly to your game running in the Google Data Center.
Oh yeah, my
That
Chromecast,
direct
by the way,
connection
isn't
is key
doesn't
to
work. I
providing
don't think.
the highest possible performance and the best streaming experience. We have so many more details on the Stadia controller, which you can find at stadia.com. We're also a tweet away at
Imagine
Google
the
Stadia
Chromecast
to
Ultra's
answer
better
all your
hardware.
questions.
Yeah,
We're
that's
very
all it is.
excited to
Better
introduce
hardware.
you to
Yeah.
a number of new titles coming to Stadia at launch. Let's take a look.
It supports 4K.
I'm a wolf,
Normal Chromecast is 1080.
raised to be the alpha, trained to follow. Alas, the beast can't
I
be
know what
tamed
this is.
that easily.
It looks familiar. I don't remember why.
It's
Wild territory.
Oh, the new Ghost
John
Recon.
Bernthal.
For my kind,
Yeah, because John Bernthal.
a free world where I can roam and explore with no end.
You think this is I wish Call of Duty looked this clean.
But I came here on the hunt, hidden among sheep, focused on their superficial.
And they got a new
dreams,
engine for Call of
moving
Duty, and
up
it
the
still
food
looks
chain
gritty.
Step by step, before I dominate them all. One target always clearly in my sights. To secure the future with technology others developed, but were too fearful to deploy.
Real quick, I was also going to mention it's not even just
Tooth and
bandwidth that
claw,
matters,
I
it's
took
ping.
this island, and
for
by
low
tooth
latency.
And claw, I will rule it.
You know, this is why I put a limiter on the game, or on that stream.
The wolf knows when a predator nears. Can a ghost take on the lone wolf? Maybe. Tracking, analyzing, stalking, patiently, tirelessly. But there is no place for the weak and the wounded here.
Better put this on the list.
We are wolves.
Take a shot every time you said wolves in the trailer.
Stand by.
Standing by.
Stream Connect Stadia feature.
Oh yeah, that's what that would be, right? Yeah,
I was
so
just curious what I was meaning there. I wasn't
that's-
sure if it was showing like
that's what they showed last time when they announced Stadia, is that it can do things like that. You can see your partner's screens. So that's what we were seeing there. So Stadia version, you could
Yeah.
see what your teammates are looking at. Yeah, whatever. Take Two? Was there a Take Two logo?
it looks familiar and I don't know why.
The face makes me think Double Fine, which is why someone may have said Take Two.
Yeah, there's a
Like that, just the style, the
yeah. I can't believe a company is willing to give Tim money.
oh,
Tequila
It's
works.
not.
All right. Never mind. No money for Tim.
Half expected Bonham to get run over.
this looks silly.
I can't believe this is a thief version of Monaco.
They're not thieves. They're moving out.
My
Okay,
favorite
this
part
looks
of
like- this
E3
looks
every
like
year is
fun.
audio balancing.
just a YouTuber bait game? Not particularly. Oh, Cult Sync. No, Cult Sync.
It might
Pretty
be.
good.
That looks okay.
I'd kind of compare it to Overcooked, where you can have a lot of fun and co-op with it.
Oh yeah, it does remind me of Overcooked, yeah.
So I wouldn't necessarily say it's just YouTuber bait. I usually tend to think YouTuber bait's more like Goat Sim, that stuff.
Damn, this YouTube layout. Sorry,
I
guys.
think they say it just because it's a party game, and those types of party games lose their appeal pretty quickly, or they require
So one of the major challenges
always
is to
having
take an RPG
a full
Yeah.
group on hand.
a fast-paced.
It is one thing
I
with
understood
Gip-
what they mean by
shooting
it.
game.
Yeah.
We
Here,
learned a
Tequila
lot
Works has
from
made
the first game,
Groundhog
and we
Day,
improved
Wonder
on that.
World,
And
The
what we
Invisible
have today,
Hours
I
rhyme.
think, is the best cover-based shooter.
Don't
RPG
recognize any of those
out
games,
there.
sadly.
Huh.
One of the real benefits of choosing Washington D.C. for the second game is
But as
that we have
with
all
Coatsink
these
being their
amazing,
publisher, Coatsink have
iconic
published some
buildings.
pretty decent games,
White
so
House,
they helped out with
Capitol,
publishing Gang
we have
Beasts
the
at
Air
some
and
point.
Space Museum, we have the Lincoln Memorial, and of course, there's even a control point at the base of the Washington Monument.
Stadia means that you can play your game anywhere. The collaboration with Google has been really awesome.
Got Division
They're
2
very
free.
open, a
Never
very
had anyone to
open
play it with.
company,
Well,
at least with us as partners. We know games, and they know infrastructure. So together we can bring a powerful,
I played the beta and I don't want to
visually
play it, but
appealing experience to all Stadia users.
it's another
Together we can
platform.
make the best of it. The exciting part about partnering with Google is that they really have the bandwidth and just the
I watched
physical
people do the raid of the game.
infrastructure to do something like
Raid
this.
seemed
They have
fine.
the bandwidth.
Bringing
The
Division
great
2
part
to
about Google
Stadia
is they have
has been
money,
a learning experience
and we're really
an
thankful to
immensely
finally get
thrilling
some
journey.
money.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing what we can do in the future.
Because
They
we
took
could
the
finally
Epic
do
deal
things.
so that they could get extra money for those that would buy it on PC.
They not only took the deal, but they also didn't lose their or didn't have to do any
That's a look at
exclusivity
just some
shit.
of the amazing titles we're bringing to you at launch. And
Yeah,
now, here
with
to tell you
Google, yeah.
about
They just
Stadia's
had to
pricing
program
and
some features like
availability is
the
my friend and
See Your
colleague,
Friends.
John.
It's
We're
pricing
launching
Hello,
time.
John.
Stadia with a diverse mix of games from lots of genres and
Pricing
world-class
time.
game publishers. There's truly something for everyone. With Stadia, you can
Those
put your
blue
money
frames
toward
are
the things
distracting.
that really matter.
I thought they were
The
CG for a
latest,
second.
greatest game experiences that you can play anywhere. To unlock these experiences, we're offering a premium subscription for our Stadia players. Introducing Stadia Pro. It delivers the best of Stadia for just $9.99 per month. Stadia Pro gives you regular content that we add to your library for being a Stadia Pro member at our highest streaming quality. 4K, HDR, 60 frames per second, with 5.1 surround sound.
That's not for
And
me.
we're going a step further to celebrate players who want to be the first playing on Stadia. We know there's a passionate world of players out there who want bigger, better, more accessible gaming experiences. After announcing Stadia, we've heard from so many gamers who share our excitement. For those fans, we've created a custom, limited edition set of exclusive features and content. We call it the Stadia Founders Edition, and you can pre-order it starting today. The Founders Edition includes everything you need to get started with Stadia, and you'll have the first access to Stadia when it launches later this year. We want to make sure your games look great on the biggest screen in your home, so the Founders Edition comes with a Chromecast Ultra for streaming it up to 4K HDR
That's
at
the console,
60 frames
guys.
per second directly to your TV. You'll also receive a limited edition Night Blue Stadia controller, as well as 3 months of Stadia Pro. And
That's
we
a nice
know
color for
gaming
it.
is more fun with a friend. The Founders Edition comes with a 3-month buddy pass, so you can gift Stadia Pro access to a friend or family member. You can also pick up an additional Stadia controller for $69.
nice.
It comes in clearly
Nah, I'm
white,
good.
just black,
Yeah.
and
When you
wasabi.
say any controller can work,
And here's the
I'm not-
best part
no one's
about the
gonna pay
Founders Edition.
$70
You'll be
for a
among
Google
the first
controller,
players
sorry.
to secure your exclusive Stadia name. So you'll get the Stadia name you want and the bragging
Yeah,
rights
they
that go
told us
along with
one
it.
tier.
So you're getting a Chromecast Ultra.
I can't wait
They're
to
describing.
steal a
They're
popular
describing the
YouTuber's
Stadia
name.
second.
controller,
They're describing the
3
second
months of
option.
Stadia Pro for you and a friend, and you'll be among the first players to select a Stadia name. It's all in the Stadia Founders Edition, and it's coming to these 14 countries.
so Canada, US, and
And
European.
we're working hard to expand Stadia to additional countries in 2020 and beyond. We do have one more surprise. Gamers who buy the Stadia Founders Edition will get the complete Destiny 2 experience as part of Stadia Pro.
Wow,
Let's take a look.
legit.
Destiny's about being a super powerful hero set loose in a really beautiful world. The first time I fired my super, I was like screaming, I'm so badass right now. I've been playing games for 30 years and I've never experienced that.
Destiny is about playing with your friends.
My best moments are with other players. The first time
Yeah, they probably got some Google money
I know
too.
who was there with me, and that just makes it feel so much more rich.
Bungie's always been at the forefront of exploring new
Which again,
ways
think
to
what you want
bring
about
our
Google, but
games
that's
to our
probably better
players.
than Activision money.
We are now our own publisher. Did you know this? And with Stadia, we get to be the tip of the spear with something that's new. Our push now is to remove all the barriers that we have to playing Destiny.
Whenever, wherever, with whomever you want.
And we're allowing players to have access to all of it. All of
That
our
sounds like
planets, all of our
cross-platform.
cooperative strikes, all of our competitive modes, Gambit, raids.
Oh, okay.
It's all there for players to jump in and have fun with.
Shadowkeep is the next chapter in the Destiny story.
It's a pretty haunting tale. There are these nightmares that are walking the moon, and you'll have to find a way to conquer these nightmares and face your fears.
Well,
We have a lot to
that's
do with
probably
this.
what they're talking
We're
about
not
during
done.
their
We
stream.
now
Yep.
are in control of our own destiny.
Shadowkeep, right?
Behind us,
Yep.
we
Shadowkeep,
have
and then
an incredible
Shadowbringers.
community. And with Stadia, I think we're going to open up an entirely
Shadows
new
die
opportunity
twice.
for players to come in and play with their friends from around the world.
Why don't you save this for the
What?
stream?
Anyone
This
else
is
buffer for
their-
a sec?
Looking to the future
I think I did.
always
Okay.
brings us back
Just making sure.
to the past.
Oh, Eris is back.
Can you feel them? I can still hear their voices. Their endless torment reshapes our moon. Nightmares now stalk the surface. Walking shadows, seeking vengeance. Our old fears, they rise again. And in the dark below, something wicked has awakened.
Not gonna lie, that bit was a little nauseating.
We must bring
Which part?
an end to this
They
suffering.
kept going over and over, like
Oh,
in a circle
yeah.
to the ground. It was a little nauseating.
Or
Oh shit,
another.
the weapon she's using. That's from Destiny 1 as well.
Huh.
Get those screens out of the main screen. I was trying to watch.
A big thank you to our friends at Bungie for partnering with us to bring the full Destiny 2 experience to Stadia. The base game, all previous add-ons, the newest expansion,
Sorry,
and
guys, the YouTube
annual
player
pass.
sucks, apparently.
They're all included in your Stadia Pro subscription.
Got it.
And as an added bonus, you'll be able to transfer your Destiny Guardian
Neat.
to Stadia from any other platforms. To
That's
recap,
cool.
the Stadia
Wait,
Founders
there was a
Edition
disclaimer
comes
about
with
Sony down there,
limited
but the
edition
subtitles were
light blue
covering it.
controller, Chromecast overlay, 3 months of
It
Stadia
said
Pro, the
something
full
about it
Destiny
needed
2
approval.
experience,
I'll go back,
I'm pretty
I'll go
sure
back
you
and check
can't
it.
go from
and a
PS4 to
buddy
Stadia.
pass to give Stadia Pro to a friend for 3 months.
I'll turn it
Good
off.
luck deciding who you're going to give it to. When you add everything up, that's almost $300 of value. And you'll get it all in the Founders Edition for just $129, which you can
Pending
pre-order
approval from
now.
Sony is what it said.
We're excited to offer the Founders Edition to gamers around the world, but it's
They
only
had
available
Sony, and
for a limited
Sony's like,
time
"We'll get back
in
to you
limited
on that."
quantities. So don't wait
Sony's
too
weird
long to
about when
pre-order.
it comes to that
If you
stuff.
don't want
Remember
the Founders
Fortnite?
Edition or
Yeah,
Stadia
yeah.
Pro,
You guys might
can
have
still
fun on
buy and
another
play
console,
Stadia
and that's
games
not okay.
Without a subscription, simply buy the games you want when you want them. We call this Stadia Base, and any games you purchase, they're yours to play whenever you want.
Okay.
So whether you're ready to go all in with the Founders Edition bundle, or if you prefer Stadia Base, you have options. All right, let's bring Phil back for a
Oh, so
few
the base
final
wasn't
details
another
and
sub?
surprises.
Okay.
Thanks for
One thing I'm still
tuning
kind
in
of
to this
curious about
first
being
look at some of
cross-platform,
our
so you
most
add people in the
exciting
game.
launch
but
titles,
right now,
pricing
okay.
details, and how to access Stadia right at launch.
But yeah,
You
there's
can
only
get
one
more
tier for the
details and
moment.
info at stadia.com/FAQ,
Okay, okay.
or you can find
They just
it in the
they just call it
description
Pro,
here,
so it was
or
confusing.
tweet us at
But it's
Google
one.
Stadia.
The sub is $10.
We'll have much more to come
That's
soon,
it.
including additional announcements from some of the world's best game publishers. Thanks for watching. I can't wait for you to experience Stadia for yourself. And with that, we're excited to show you one last collection of games.
Listen up already.
Robo, you don't have that with any digital game you've ever bought. Your entire Steam library, you don't own any of that. You own a license for it. So I don't know why we would expect that out of Stadia when we don't get that anywhere. Oh, hey, Sam's show was there. Shit, I should be paying more attention.
I just saw the Power Rangers game.
Trials, Final Fantasy 15, FIFA, Death, Destiny Cars. He specifically said you own the games. Oh, I get what you mean. Yeah, I agree. That is not, that's borderline false advertising. You own a license, you don't own it.
Okay. First thing I want to get out of the way, real quick. For some reason they didn't mention it here. I'm sure it's in their FAQ. There are games that aren't part of the service and you will have to buy individually, which is what I don't. It's not the service.
Yeah. There was a whole article about it that we have to comb through other details. So, give us a minute to go through these details.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the FAQ real quick.
I'd just like to add in Max's input as well there. I can't believe Stadia is going to be the tournament standard for MK11, Sam Show, and Power Rangers.
Dash face. Yeah, new games won't be part of that subscription for Stadia. That you still have to buy new games, the full price. But if you do the sub, you get other games.
Wait, it is full price? It's not like a little cheaper at all?
I didn't see that, but it's definitely not in the sub. You still have to pay a different price for the new games. Yeah, I have to go back because that was like an hour or so ago when it leaked.
And that's on top of the monthly subscription? What if I wanted to say...
It's probably not.
I want to use Stadia, so I just go to the app and I just buy a single game.
Because I'm pretty sure there is a free version of Stadia. There is a free thing of it.
Alright, so then Pro is the service, and if you bought a game into, I guess that's not too bad. I still don't like the idea of streaming games, but
I don't either.
At least it's not like an obvious scam or something in that area.
It's not like a scam. Destiny in a half hour is also today. The thing with it is that it's not they aren't using any predatory practices in setting up Stadia.
Right.
They aren't buying they're buying out exclusives. They're working with what the other companies want. And so it's an option on the table. You're not being forced into Baldur's Gate isn't the only platform that Stadia is not the only platform for Baldur's Gate.
For example, the example they showed, even though it was only an engine, it wasn't gameplay, of seeing your friends' screens in Ghost Recon. That's a neat feature to be like, hey, this is what you get on our platform. It's an exclusive thing, but it's because it perfectly fits in with the functionality of what they're trying to offer, which is cool. It's not like they're stealing it away from other consoles or PC or something. It's purely because of how the system itself works from a single data center.
Yeah, they really want to bank on people want to stream and all the benefits that would come with streaming, and still curious about it, but I just don't have any as much animosity. It's concerning though, like I said about, and what Robo was bringing up is the archiving. You don't own anything, and they said you did for some reason, but you don't own anything.
I mean, the thing I laughed at earlier was, here at Google, we like for you to have access to all info available or something. Now it's just like we were just talking about China.
Oh yeah,
minutes before that. So I was.
Well,
really
I don't even think China got this stream either, because YouTube's, I'm pretty sure,
right.
is banned.
But I just mean Google was a lot of there was a lot of contradictions here with Google in general. That's all. That's why I was laughing. It's not that that's abnormal for Google. It's totally normal for them. So it was just funny.
Your Destiny stream.
But the biggest concern still is latency. You're not going to be seeing tournaments in the FGC using Stadia. You're not. It's not going to happen.
It's that.
There's too much that can go wrong there.
And again, the US infrastructure isn't there. Pop is part of an average, actually. So, what, he's like, it would get 720p?
Well, not even just the average. If you have good internet, you still have those data caps.
Yeah, you still have data caps. Mine's like
no one's going to be
one,
streaming
but...
at 4K consistently for, let's say, what's like an average gaming session for someone?
Maybe like 2 or 3 hours. Yeah.
2-3 hours. If that's your hobby, and then let's say you have increased ones on the weekends because that's your main hobby, you're going over your data cap.
Yeah.
100%.
Destiny 1 is in a half hour, yes.
So
that's when they'll talk more
Stadia
about
till then.
That's when they'll talk more about Shadowkeep. Yeah, the free sub for Stadia comes in 2020, not this year. And that goes up to 1080p, and I mean, in the tweet it just says no games. Let me see what that means.
That meaning you don't get the subscription service. That's probably if you buy individually. That's what I was curious about. It was like, what if you have to pay $60 for a game plus be subscribed? But you just answered my question of you just don't have access to 4K.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. So that's fine. I'm not worried about that. I mean, again, buying a game specifically to be streamed is kind of
you still have, so with that free sub you still have to buy the license to the game as you would just like the new okay. Yep. And 30 games at launch. Yep. Yeah, it's an option. Not on board, but it's an option.
I'm not sold on it. I don't. Maybe you can convince broad audience, but if people start realizing themselves that they're going over their data caps and they're ending up spending more, then it's in the U.S. it's gonna die. It's not gonna be popular. Oh God, sorry. Excuse me. In other countries, maybe I don't know what it's like by like say Steven. Maybe it's far more of a what would you want to say?
I have heard
appetizing offer.
No, I've heard in Europe it's can be worse.
For internet speeds?
Yes.
Internet speeds and data caps and all of that.
Data caps, not so much. There's some of them, but usually they're like quite low per month costs. Depends on which service you usually go with for internet speeds. Like BT is usually very reliable and like you won't go down too much, but they're usually very low speeds in comparison to like I swapped to Virgin Media now and I'm at like 250
I think that's the one I've heard a lot about.
Yeah, Virgin used to be, I don't know if it used to be or maybe if it still is, like there was a lot of talk originally about like, oh, they'd like cap your speeds a lot so far. I've been with them for about a month. They haven't done shit to me yet.
I think so, and then it's not even offered in Japan, but Japan has already had streaming, so that's no surprise. Like that's already an established market in Japan.
The other thing is you're not going to be getting, I know this is a minor audience technically, but you're not going to be getting Twitch streamers who are using Stadia either, just because that fucks way too much with the internet, I imagine.
Yeah. I could
you're not
do
going
it.
to see them promoting it either.
Especially because Chromecasts have HDCP, so the average streamer probably doesn't have a HDMI splitter. But I mean, yeah, I've thought about that before. I have done it before to record something.
So you're not really going to see people being paid to even promote it.
Oh, there's probably a stream from it thing. That might be.
I guess maybe.
Well, hold on, no,
not at launch.
I don't think the Chromecast Ultra even has the hardware for that, so maybe not. Because that requires video processing.
So, who is this for?
That's a good question. None of
Like
us.
they say, I mean, obviously, oh, I don't want a console, but I want to play games high fidelity or whatever. Like, theoretically, yeah, that's awesome, but
we have an opportunity to try it, but it does not seem like it is for us here.
I'm trying to think like broad audience, even though.
They're gonna have to find it. I forgot what I was about to search. Oh yeah.
Especially if one of the very first things that happens is someone buys a game and something happens with the game and it's just completely pulled.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they have measures in place if something like that were to happen.
I doubt it.
But
It's always how it is you with services you are vulnerable to license expirations. It's how it be.
I don't know.
And it's unfortunate. And this is probably a service where when it's streaming, you can't download it locally. Like MVC2 on PS3, Xbox, you can't buy it anymore. But if you still have it installed, you still have it and can play it.
Yeah, there's no offline here.
So
they mentioned
yeah,
nothing about offline in the FAQ or on the stream. So then that's the other thing. It's like if you just want to play a single player game, you have to be constantly online.
Yeah. I think you expect that. Yeah.
Big thing.
I don't know
right,
why
you
can't
have to go in with that expectation. So that's why I'm like, for a core audience, it's definitely like, why would I need this ever?
Yeah.
Ever.
If the core audience doesn't think about that. If they always have an online connection and don't think twice about it. But yeah, I'm not like have to try it out,
Also,
but still not on board with it.
It could have it could have basically no impact, but I do want to point out they're launching the service the same month as Disney Plus, which is, again, that's TV and movies, but still, that's a new subscription service. So I wonder if that would affect it.
And we would have to consider
for
it's relevant to us more that let me turn this music up, that Xbox and PlayStation are trying to get into this too. So it might not be worth it for any of us to pay into Google service when there could be a better PS Now or the whatever Xbox does later.
And you also have like EA and Ubisoft doing something on their own. It's like,
yeah, I don't think they have the money for it. I think Microsoft, and that's why Microsoft and Sony are joining together, is because they bought out the engineers that were working on this. They paid for them. Ubisoft and EA don't have those people. That's why I'm also waiting for them, is because I know that they bought them up years ago.
And that's the thing. I don't know if EA and Ubisoft's things are directly tied with Google, because we know from last year Ubisoft was testing something that was directly tied with Google, so this is probably what it was for.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I don't know if it's going to be Ubisoft's own service, but EA specifically had with their Origin access where the highest tier was eventually going to have access to it, but here they had like FIFA and stuff too, so I don't know. All of these streaming services for games are weird to me.
I forgot what I was gonna say now. Damn it. It'll come back to me. I was looking at Baldur's Gate 2, reconfirm, and yeah, no other for Baldur's Gate, no other consoles announced, just PC and Stadia. Which I don't know if you would expect it on. Well, you would, right? It was on consoles, yeah. Pretty sure it was, unless I'm thinking of another game.
I don't know. Baldur's Gate's an old game.
I may be thinking of another game.
I think there was something about Baldur's Gate on Switch, right? That was about it.
Oh, was there?
Or was that fake?
Here. No. Okay, I'm thinking of another game. What game am I thinking of? If I look up Xbox RPGs, I'll probably find what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of another old one, and I still can't remember what I was gonna say before about streaming services. Damn it.
I'm gonna get a new drink real quick.
The Bard's Tale. I was thinking of Bard's Tale. That was on console. No, Baldur's Gate. Yeah, that'll be on PC and Stadia. Let me try to remember. About Stadia and these streaming services. Oh yeah, it's the companies are telling us that they are expecting the streaming services to be the future, and I'm still not totally sold on that. As I see it, it can be an option. There's so many other like issues to it, including other company issues like Verizon and whatever. Verizon, Comcast. Warner's owned by AT&T, isn't it? AT&T must not realize it. They must have no clue. Or it's the other way around. I'm pretty sure AT&T owns them. I see it as being an option, but I still feel that streaming is going to come and go, just like mobile games really have. There were years ago when many of the AAA publishers were trying to push mobile games, and by all means, some of them still do it. Some of them have success with it, but it was around the time like Metal Gear Solid 4 came out, and everyone was trying to get in on the mobile game bandwagon at that time. And many of them already fell out. And I feel like that's what's gonna happen here is everyone will put their and they'll put their hand into what Google's doing and what Microsoft and Sony will do. And it may just fade out. May just fade out for another 10 years. They wanted streaming to be the future because I could see the ways they would extend their control over your products. That's pretty dystopian. That would be an unfortunate consequence of this change, yeah. I don't think that would be... I can't speak for Google, but for Microsoft and Sony, I don't think that would be their prerogative. I feel like if Microsoft and Sony can, do it as an option like they do now, it's an option. It isn't the replacement. So
yeah, that's why I'm not too worried. It's just that Google's option is its only option.
Yeah.
They don't offer a physical console, which is why I don't like them.
They have 100%
like
control over it.
Stadia.
And then, I mean, the others do to like some extent. You can I'm pretty sure if you have if you're banned on PS4, it's possible for your discs to not verify. I cannot remember the details of that. I see if there's anything that's gonna go first, it's gonna be you owning any game you want, because already when you buy a physical game for PS4, you're not the game doesn't play from the disc. Your game never plays from the disc.
It's just the authentication.
Yeah, it's just authentication so that it can play from the hard drive.
Which is still, I mean, while that sucks, it's still better than You still own it, I believe, right?
You can still install it from the disk instead of downloading the
Yeah.
data. But if the whole country could afford to just install the data from, if downloading would be faster than installing from a disk, then they would probably get rid of disks. It's not like that now, though. And that's always the weird thing is saying this is the future when Verizon, Comcast, AT&T aren't gonna budge on the landline, all the cable,
Even
all
Google
the fiber.
themselves trying to offer fiber is pushed back by them. If Google can't fucking fight them, how do, like, I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
They are still struggling to fight the cable companies on that.
Yeah.
And they're such a massive corporation. If they can't do it, we're gonna have these issues persist for decades.
That's more or less probably why I have a data cap, is because the company that I have cable with is owned by a large company that owns most of the fiber that's in the tri-state area.
Ridiculous.
So that's because there are other companies that are around us that are way smaller than this one, but they all use the same lines from that big company, and they aren't allowed the same privileges. They are forced to have lower speeds and worse data caps at the same prices. Baldur's Gate, oh yes, here we go. Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 Enhanced Edition is up for pre-order. That's on Switch, PS4, and Xbox One.
There you go.
And Neverwinter Nights. Neverwinter Nights, Baldur's Gate, and Planescape Torment and Icewind Dale are all coming to PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. We'll talk more about that during the pre-show. But now we can move on to Destiny, which next expansion is Shadowkeep. They were talking like it was going to be crossplay, but I think what they meant was just more content available. It's hard to say what they meant, aside from cross-save. Well, what would be the point of cross-save if it was cross-platform?
Is it cross-platform?
It's not. Curious about
that's
that,
why
though.
there's cross-save.
I wish it was cross-platform. Too. Wish that too.
One day, maybe.
Because we still, like... Oh, yeah. Well, I can explain why afterwards. That has to do with the leak.
But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, so final Stadia thoughts before we're going into Destiny here?
I think we nailed it a lot.
Okay.
We hammered it in.
Yeah,
We're good on We're good on that.
Yeah, just need to see if it actually holds up to the internet stuff it says, and
Yeah.
if anything can run it.
Yeah, the biggest thing is we have to see the latency and...
Yeah, it's one thing to say anything can run it, it's another thing to have anything run it. And also, as you said, latency. It's one thing to be like, you can stream everything, and then actually get the controller in your hand and have very low latency.
If it takes 3 seconds for my character to move forward after I've held down the analog stick forward, then there's an issue.
Yeah, look back at the there are videos that pointed it out, like about the latency issues, about the live demo they showed last time. It was pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. It's not like 3 seconds is an exaggeration, but even if you can feel that it's lagging, it's not gonna be good.
Yeah, the dude on stage when they first announced Stadia, the dude was pressing buttons to try to do something. He even looked it down in his controller, like, am I pressing it? And he was, and it just wasn't doing it in game during the live demo.
So it could be literally half a second. If you feel it, that's going to turn a lot of people away. Especially, again, fighting games, anything competitive, you're not going to be able to do on there reasonably.
Yeah, there are things that will be literally unreactable to. Any move that's like even 20 frames. Half a second would be 30 frames. Any move with less than 30 frames startup, and that's probably almost every move a character has. Unreactable.